What is up? This is ThatAlbumReviewerGuy here, and I am going to be reviewing another album, of course. That album would be none other than Weird Al Yankovic's new album, Mandatory Fun. Now, Weird Al Yankovic, this is his 14th album, actually, and, number one. This is a number one album on the Billboard 200. Which is pretty good. Weird Al, he's been around for a while, since the 80s, and he's been making entertaining, funny music since then. He's been pretty relevant since then with his songs like Fat, Canadian Idiot, White and Nerdy, Dare to Be Stupid. There's just a bunch, whether they're parodies or whether they're originals. Weird Al is just, well, weird. So the way I'm going to do this review is, well, let's just go through the track list, shall we? First, we have Handy, which parodies Fancy by Iggy Azalea, featuring Charlie XCX. And the only thing I can say about this is, it's better than the original. Without a doubt. Next song is Laying Claim to Fame, which is done in the style of Southern culture on the Skids, which, in all honesty, I've never heard of that before. And I never heard of him, so I can't really say much about it. I mean, I do like the song and all the celebrity references, like Kevin Bacon and Jonah Hill, Cuba Gooding Jr., a bunch of celebrity references in that song, and it's just pretty funny to me. Next, we have my personal favorite on the album, Foil, which parodies Royals by Lorde. Never really got into Royals, but Foil, that's a song I can get into. And on the music video for the song, I saw a comment that's literally, the comment said, the lyrics are silly and it sounds too much like Royals by Lorde. And it's like, you've never heard of Weird Al before, have you? I mean, get a clue. But this is pretty funny. I mean, it talks about aluminum foil, as the title would suggest. The first verse is about using it for, just wrapping up leftovers with and saving them for later. And then the second verse, he gets all like conspiracy theory, and he talks about aliens and all that stuff, and it's just pretty funny. Next is Sports Song, which is done in the style of football fight songs. It's alright, nice marching band type feel, and yeah, it's kind of funny. He's like, our team's great and you suck. It's funny. Just emphasize the you suck. It's Weird Al, my goodness. Next we have Word Crimes, which parodies Blurred Lines by Robin Thicke, featuring Pharrell Williams, and it's not bad. Not one of my favorites. It's not bad. I mean, talks about a bunch of words in the dictionary, all that, like fancy words. Big words are used a lot in this song. Some words I probably don't even know the definition to myself, but it's not bad. Then we have My Own Eyes, which is done in the style of the Foo Fighters, and Weird Al did a pretty good job, trying to capture the style of the Foo Fighters in this song. I think he really did. I mean, the Dave Grohl-esque vocals in this song really do make you believe that it could be a Foo Fighters song. And it would be pretty funny to see the Foo Fighters cover this. Next is one of Weird Al's polka mixes, is polka medleys, and this is called Now That's What I Call Polka. And, you know, just a medley of a bunch of hits and done in a polka style. I'm gonna list them off though, just in case you're not really aware of it. Alright, the songs in this medley are Too Fat Polka by Arthur Godfrey, Wrecking Ball by Miley Cyrus, Pumped Up Kicks by Foster the People, Best Song Ever by One Direction, Gangnam Style by Psy, Call Me Maybe by Carly Rae Jepsen, Scream and Shout by will.i.am featuring Britney Spears, Somebody That I Used to Know by Gautier featuring Kimbra, Timber by Pitbull featuring Kesha, Sexy and I Know by LMFAO, Thrift Shop by Macklemore and Ryan Lewis featuring Wands, Get Lucky by Daft Punk featuring Pharrell Williams, and Mandatory Polka by Weird Al Yankovic. It's a nice medley, has great flow to it, without a doubt. Without a doubt. I'm not a big polka guy, but this isn't bad for polka. Of course, Angry White Boy Polka was probably the best Weird Al polka mix, or medley, whatever you want to call it, in my opinion anyway. Next we have Mission Statement in the style of Crosby, Stills, and Nash. I wasn't really into it. I didn't find anything special about that song, really. It was kind of boring. The most dull song in the album. Then we have Inactive, which is a parody of the song Radioactive by Imagine Dragons. I hate that song with a burning passion. This parody is better, without a doubt. Inactive, way better than Radioactive. And, you know, it kind of, in a way, if you ask me, describes like this stereotypical American. Because, you know, Inactive, you know, talking about like not exercising, you know, fat, you know, stuff like that. That's one way to think of it. Then we have Tacky, which is a parody of the song Happy by Pharrell Williams. There's a few Pharrell references on here, mostly because he's featured in a couple of songs that are featured in a way on this album. But anyway, this parody of Happy, it's not terrible, but, you know, I wouldn't say it's one of my favorites. The song's a bit tacky. And finally, we have Jackson Park Express, which is done in the style of Cat Stevens. This is the longest song on the album. It's almost 9 minutes long. It drags a bit in my opinion, but it's not too terrible. Well, I wouldn't say it's terrible, but you know what I mean. Come on. Cut me some slack. People. Overall, you know, I don't know why, but, you know, I feel as though, for the most part, the second half of this album just doesn't really seem to hold up to the first. I mean, the first half of the album is good, pretty much, for the most part. But the second half isn't bad, per se. But it's just not as good as the first half, if you ask me. For the most part, at least. But, you know, favorites on this album: Handy, Lame Claim to Fame, Foil, and My Own Eyes. Least favorite, Mission Statement. It's just, you know, nothing special. I don't know. It's just boring, if you ask me. But overall, Mandatory Fun gets a 7 out of 10. It's not bad. I might pick it up eventually. Welp. What did you guys think of Mandatory Fun? What is your favorite Weird Al album? What is your favorite Weird Al parody? And, you know, usual stuff. Like, rate, comment, subscribe, tweet, tout, whatever people do these days. Like this guy on Facebook. And that's about it. I'll see you all next time. ThatAlbumReviewerGuy, signing off.